Daily, she saw and dealt with things that would cause normal people to pass out. But damn it, she really hated spiders. And as far as she was concerned, the crabs were just water spiders. "Suck it up," her mind screamed at her. "You're Batgirl, damn it." Swinging the hefty yet well-balanced blade, Dawn knocked the remaining section of exoskeleton off the top of the spider's head. This action also caused a smattering of crabs to be hurled to the ground. "Okay, Dawn. It's just the guts of a giant killer spider. No big deal." Stabbing the point of the sword into the sand, Dawn sucked in a deep breath and plunged her hands into the spider's head. Remembering to breathe through her mouth, she quickly yanked out half-chewed spider gunk and cleared the area around the blinking light. "Okay, what do we have here?" she asked nobody in particular. The light was attached to a small bronze-colored plastic box. A series of wires attached to the box's sides seemed to be integrated into the nervous system of the spider itself. Following a thin piece of fiber optic line, Dawn saw that the eyes of the spider were not completely organic, but instead had tiny cameras embedded in them. Dawn turned one of them to her face. "I don't know who you are or what you want, but you're going to be sorry you ever fucked with me," she hissed. Then Dawn drew the knife from her pocket and cut the leads to the box. The light stopped blinking. "Okay then. Guess it's time to move," she muttered, picking her sword back up. She looked up and verified the birds were still high above before she headed down the beach, chasing the horizon. She was already tired and wanted to go back to sleep, but she was pretty sure if she did that, she might never get back up. Onto the road, later. For nearly an hour, Dawn dragged her exhausted self through the sand. She was almost ready to begin hacking a trail into the jungle when she saw a break in the foliage ahead of her. At first, she thought it was a mirage, or maybe a hallucination, but as the shoreline curved slightly in toward her, she became convinced it was real, but it was still almost impossible to believe. A massive stone arch framed the beginning of a cobblestone road, lined on both sides with a field stone wall. The road was wide enough for 3, maybe 4, people to walk down side by side. Vines and fallen leaves covered large segments of the path and walls, which seemed to indicate lack of regular use. Oh, great. Why don't they just fucking put up a sign reading "The Murder Path" while they're at it? Dawn said, looking back up and down the beach, searching for any reason to not strike out on the seemingly ancient road. The air was getting hotter by the moment, and Dawn was reluctant to plunge into the steamy jungle and forego the breeze coming off the sea. But there was no sign of water near the beach, and the liquid in her bottle was nearly gone. If she didn't find a source of hydration soon, all other options would be rendered irrelevant. "Fuck this," Dawn growled, and marched onto the stone road without further hesitation. It was a relief to no longer be dragging her feet through the loose sand of the beach, and the shade provided by the tree canopy high above the path served to reduce the heat generated by direct sunlight. Unfortunately, her fears had been right, and the breeze from the ocean was effectively negated. It only took 5 minutes for Dawn to realize she was gradually climbing up a hill. "If I ever get out of here, I am going on vacation in fucking Alaska," Dawn seethed as she meticulously put one foot in front of the other on the vine and loam-covered road. It was taking every bit of effort she had left to ignore the 4, maybe 5, swallows of very warm and very flat water in her pack. Finally, she broke. Sweat coating her skin and saturating her clothes, Dawn dropped to a sitting position under the shade of a particularly massive palm tree. Eyes burning from the sweat running down her forehead, she dug blindly in her pack and ripped the water bottle free from it. It was gone in one long, hard swallow. Well, maybe just a little nap, Dawn thought, laying the pack down and using it for a pillow. Before dropping off to sleep, she saw the ever-present birds through the breaks in the canopy. They circled around and around. When she awoke, the air was cooler, and the punishing sun seemed to have crossed the unseen.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.